Big thing for Brisbane, something that you can avoid and if you do your due diligence right, is flood zones and overland flow. Now, it's not just flood zones, it's actual individual properties. And it's not just flood from rising water. It's actually because in Queensland, the topography is quite steep and undulating, and water has to flow from a top of a mountain down to a bottom, and it takes a path, and that's called an overland flow path. You need to know what impact that will and won't have, because it could restrict you from any sort of development. If it's a house, you might want to raise it and build underneath. That's a very typical strategy for extending a house. Or if you want to knock down and build something new, it might have quite a big impact on that. So not just doing a flood report, but actually then understanding what the impact is and isn't is quite a big one that you can avoid if you know what you're looking for.
That's it. And this stuff isn't actually too difficult to find, so
it's free.
But yeah, exactly. It's free.
That is, the flood report's free. Yeah.
It comes down to knowing what you don't know. You're never going to look for it if you don't realize that you need to know it. And that's really what this podcast, and that's what Your First Home Buyer Guide is all about. An example of how that can impact a first home buyer, there was recent flooding up in the north coast of New South Wales, and I saw this on the news, and there was a fellow, he'd just bought his first home and he didn't insure it because when he went to insure it after buying it, I don't know how he managed to do this and buy it and borrow money and all the rest of it. Don't know quite the ins and outs, but he didn't insure it because when he went to get it insured, he was given a bill of something like $13,000. Which is a huge insurance bill.
So the insurer has flagged it for flood,
yes.
Potentially.
Yep, and that would have been, particularly in New South Wales, that's in the zoning certificate. We'll get to that in a minute. So this is all very knowable stuff, very avoidable. He didn't insure his home. And then what happened? A flood came and, of course, basically ruined his home. Took out all the furniture, everything.